Khan,
And I'm Leela Hilton.
and this is Burn Before Reading, the podcast about shiterature.
Shiterature! We're here to discuss the terrible writing we did when we were younger and touch on some other cringy and/or nostalgic literary topics right along the way.
With us today is our friend Gretchen. Say hello to the listeners, Gretchen.
Hello.
Woo!
Hello. Gretchen has been on the pod before. You were on for the our episode 100, in fact, back in
Yeah.
Wow.
November. Okay, so Leela and I talked about this, Gretchen. I'm glad you're here. Wait, first of all, how you doing? Doing good?
Doing great.
Okay, perfect. Um then it was about breaking down part one, movie part one. The name of that episode is Kellen Lutz's wig is completely unforgivable. I have since learned that that was never a wig.
I was gonna say it would be a
It was
really
his natural
short
hair.
wig.
It just looked so bad.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's his hairline and like not to be this way, but like there are some men, and by some I mean most, that just shouldn't do buzz cuts. I know that
His
was the
buzz cut was
character.
the best. It was all the
Wasn't that a
longer.
buzz? It
Oh
was
my
like a
God.
longer buzz
It
though,
was like all the
correct?
longer cuts that looked so weird.
It was still
Also,
too
Yeah,
short.
especially the one where it's like the gel down, like the
oh,
really bad
Oh
gel down.
yeah.
That
the
was
Roman
just so
senator,
bad.
Like no lift.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like
bad.
a bad bang, a bad boy bang.
So I guess it's just the hairstylist's fault that we named it that. I
Yeah,
also
I still blame Melissa Rosenberg, but fine.
I also learned today that I spelled unforgivable wrong in that title and I
Oh
fixed it
my
today.
God.
I never
Unforgivable.
noticed.
I know I put an E in there like unforgivable and that's not right.
It does feel like that's one of those words that I feel like I have to think about when I write it.
I mean, I never thought about it until right today. Well, because you know why? I just made us a sheet of notes, Leela. I've been threatening to do this for some time. All of our notes are now in a centralized location, and I did it today because I have a lot of notes about the subject matter, as you guys will hear soon. But some episodes will have zero notes. But if I'm like, oh, that cringe would go really well with this subject, or if I have stuff I really want to bring up, if I got plugs I want to bring up, this also put a reminder here to say, Gretchen, are you still using she her pronouns?
I am.
Amazing. See, that's an important
Wow.
thing to ask in our community.
Yeah, we forget sometimes.
So, Leela, you're invited to check out our season three notes document. But so popping it in a document was how I realized that I spelled it wrong because I had a squiggly under it.
Oh, so smart. You got to pop in a doc.
Pop in a doc. So, um, what am I doing? Leela,
Mm-hmm.
take us to the cringe.
Dirty babe. Yeah, Justin Timberlake, more like Justin Cringeberlake.
I know that you and Jason used to have a lot of sex in that album, though.
Okay, well, that was told in confidence.
Was it? I
No,
doubt
I
it.
don't say anything in confidence. So that's why I'm on this. That's why the co-host for this pod. Um, uh, we did. No. What's been cringing me? Are you asking me what's been cringing me out, or do you want me to ask what's happening?
It's just
Was
like
that your
so up
way?
to you. It's just like completely up to you
Christina,
how
what's
you
been
want
cringing you out?
Allow me to refer to my document.
Oh my God.
No, this is a different document. This is the document where I write down. This is where I just keep track of like cringes from my past when I think of them. Um, hmm. Which one will I say today? A lot of these are pretty dumb, but they are cringy. This is one that came up recently. I was explaining it to my boyfriend Greer. Y'all know how like everyone is insecure about their body always.
Sure.
But
Sure.
the things you used to be insecure about are not the same as the things you're currently insecure about, and some of them are really dumb, right? Some of the things you used to be insecure about are like pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Not that like I'm so fat and ugly no one could love me isn't dumb, which is one of my insecurities. But back in the day, here was my biggest insecurity for a hot minute was that I thought my toes were too pointy. My big toe too pointy. And I didn't like the way when I put on a sock like above the seam, my toes were like a triangle instead of like a nice little lump of toes.
Isn't it crazy how women will? There's so many things I didn't know I could hate about my body, and
I
I like just
know.
found a new one.
And I just want to be clear, my feet are, I think, pretty extraordinarily normal. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing about them one way or the other.
no.
And I love how they look in a sock now. But that was like a really big insecurity of mine to the point where I like was embarrassed to be in just socks.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
no.
Isn't that
That
so dumb?
I had something similar, but mine I've always been very insecure and I don't give a shit anymore, but I used to be very insecure about how crusty my feet are. It's like a genetics thing. My mom also got them crusts and like I heard that like sometimes it can be like if you have diabetes or like maybe if you're like very overweight because there's like so much weight like on your heels all the time. It's neither of those things.
It's
Like
just
it's just
genetic.
genetic and like to the point that like I have to like take a stone to my heel every shower. I have to like sleep with a sock full of Vaseline and it still will look crusty. And so I used to be very insecure because I think what this is saying, Tina, is that
Feet
especially in like
fetishes are internalized in young children, young girls.
yeah, and in high school, at least, like, and probably college as well, men were very mean about women's feet. They were weird about women's feet. I think people are just weird about women's feet. And
It's true.
so I was just so hyper aware of them, which as Jason points out, no one could even see them. They're so far down. So that's so
That's
true.
really true. Yeah.
But I used to like to the point like if I was like on a date with my boyfriend in high school and my socks started slipping, I would be like, stop, stop, whatever we're doing, like stop a make out for me to like
So,
adjust my
so
sock,
stupid.
which drew way more attention to it.
To all the women listening, your feet are probably beautiful. And if they're not, go get them fixed.
Yeah, just do something about it. You know, that's all I have to say. Keep them clean, keep them as smooth as you can. That's all you can do. All we can ask for in this world.
Gretchen, what's been cringing you out lately?
Probably the worst thing lately has been the weather in Phoenix. This
Mm.
whole past week was 105
Oh,
degrees, and it
fuck.
is March. I've been so angry about the weather, and we're finally starting to go back down. Today, the high was 100 instead of 105.
Oh,
Gretchen,
But I have been dying.
I mean, no shit. What can I ask? I hope you don't take this the wrong way. Why do you live in Phoenix?
I wanted to move to Washington, and I couldn't with my job. So
Okay.
this was part way there from Florida, which I hate Florida.
Okay, got it. Do you like living in Phoenix?
Um, I do most of the time when it's this time of year. Last year was like 70 and sunny and beautiful all of
gorge.
March. This year
Okay.
was horrible. But like usually like we've lived here since 2023, the end of 2023.
Okay.
And like 75% of the time the weather is beautiful. You can do all the outdoor activities and I really like it, especially since we're like super into like mountain biking and hiking and like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This year sucks, and I
It
can't wait to move.
it seems like untenably hot. Like I'm okay,
Yeah.
I want to be really clear. I'm a summer bitch. And in I almost said in Norfolk. I lived there 10 years ago. In like in Richmond where we live in the summer, in the peak of summer it gets up to like 90 to 100 degrees in a day. And like that to me is like doable. It's not great. Like those days when it gets up that high are like not great, but I'm like very comfortable at 86 degrees. Fahrenheit, obviously. But like the thought of living in Phoenix makes me like want to die. Like it sounds really bad just because of the
Well,
Yeah.
temperature.
I've heard
Yeah,
like
like I
the
grew up in
inside.
Florida. And so like I was used to the heat. I was like, oh, it's a dry heat. It's gonna be better. It fucking sucks.
It's like more hot than Florida. Florida doesn't get like over 100
Oh
all
no.
the time, right?
Florida is usually like 96 to 98 during the summer, but you got like 90% humidity, so it sucks. I'm sure you guys understand that.
I love
But
the
yeah,
humidity.
oh God, no. Yeah,
No,
that
she's
shit
crazy.
sucks.
I mean, I don't like the way that this is the one thing about humidity that I hate. One thing is that the strap my bra strap under boob gets wet and saturated. That I hate that. That's the only thing. I fucking hate that feeling. Okay, well, thanks for sharing your feelings about Phoenix. Also, I will be visiting you in less than a month.
I am so excited, and you're
Yeah.
gonna hate the weather.
I will. Well, okay. So me and Greer are going from Denver to Phoenix. And we're going through a national park with like mountains. And I'm like, am I supposed to pack booty shorts and a parka? Like, what am I
Yes.
doing? We're got four-wheel drive because there might be snow on the ground during part of our trip,
Yep. All of the above.
but I'm gonna end up in
Damn.
Phoenix. I don't have a suitcase that big.
That's gonna be rough. I mean, you're gonna have to hopefully do a lot of laundry at Gretchen's house.
I guess. Leela, you talked a lot about your crusty feet, but I don't think that was your cringe, right?
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
But
what's your cringe?
there's but wait, there's more. Um, so I have a difficulty with sleeping. I'm like not a good sleeper, never have been. And just meaning like that I wake up very easily. I wake up always at least once in the middle of the night, like completely awake, and like
Mm.
have to like get up and go to the bathroom or do something, or else I'm just like will not go back to sleep. And as of course now that I'm pregnant, it's like worse. That's not like better. Especially since I can't take the same high amount, like horse tranquilizer amount of sleep medication that I usually take.
Mm.
Um, but Jason is a really good sleeper,
Isn't
and
that so
it's
frustrating?
really annoying. Yeah, he's a really good sleeper to the point that like he will lie down on the couch, close his eyes, and snore within 30 seconds. Like that deep of a sleeper.
Greer's the exact same way, and it's like the person you love most in the world, but in those moments when you're laying awake and they're like
Yes.
snoring their asses off, you're like, I think I could kill you.
I
Like, I
think
think I
I,
have that inside of me right now.
yes. And that's what I'm currently struggling with. And it's hard because Jason's the sweetest boy in the world, and all he wants is for me to be happy and healthy and to sleep well. But if I like don't go to sleep before him, or if for what, and he always falls asleep before me for whatever reason, I like can't sleep anymore. Like I can hear him through my earplugs.
Oh
And
my God.
I mean, last night I just got up and I took my pillow and slept on the couch, and it was fine. Like my couch is extremely comfy. Some may say comfier than my bed, so it was fine. I've never done that before, and so this morning Jason got up and had to get up at like 5:30 for work, and he was like, did my snoring make you wake up?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me," and he's like so sad. And I'm like, you literally can't help it. Like, I understand. It's just a sucky situation.
Have you tried listening to a green noise on your like AirPods or whatever?
Um, what is that?
That's the only thing I found that were
It's like,
green noises like nature noises,
oh, okay.
like torrential downpour, like jungle noise. I can sleep through that because it's like the way that it's designed is to be like it's like definitely crazier than white noise, but the way it's designed is to be like inconsistent enough to mask snoring, but like consistent
Ooh,
enough to sleep through. I would try it because like
okay.
this weekend I was out of town. Greer snores. I sleep with earplugs in. It's usually enough for me. But I forgot my earplugs, but I had my AirPods, and I was listening to green noise, and
Yeah,
it's fun.
I've
You
done
wake
that
up and you're like, oh my
before.
God, a monkey, and then you're like, oh, that's in my dreams.
Yeah, I've done that before. I have the kind that loop over your ears and then go in. They stay in better. I don't know. They're more comfortable for me. But sleeping on my side is you kind of can't do that with those. You kind of can't do that in general with them. But I mean, it's better than not sleeping. So we'll see.
Give it
We'll
a try.
see. We'll see what works.
I will say I have the same problem, and my boyfriend snores like a motherfucker.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
I
these
found
boyfriends?
longer earplugs work so much better. I used to have the short little ones.
longer.
You get the longer ones and you push them on in, and it's a
Wow.
game changer. Because I am like you. I wake up at everything and I will punch him in the face if I hear him
I
snoring.
get truly
Interesting.
aggressive. I do be hitting that
Yes.
Mhm.
boy all
Yeah.
night.
Like just just my hands on your throat. If it will stop this noise, you will die.
Yep.
Usually I pinch his nose and cover his mouth to make him wake up, which is a way
So
to kill
sweet.
someone. Um,
I always just
but
kind of like and here's the thing. None of us are thinking soundly in these moments. Because here's what well, if I've really got a presence of mind, I'll go, "Sweetie, can you please roll over?" And that usually helps long enough for me to go back to
yeah.
sleep. What I do if I'm getting really frustrated is I just start kicking. And if they wake up, Leela, it's just like yours, only not with a potential side of death or whatever. Like they'll wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm asleep. Nobody did that.
Yeah, what? I definitely have done that and hit.
Yep.
It's not nice. You shouldn't do that
It's
probably, but
torture though. It's
it
like
is like
literally
torture.
torture.
Ugh.
Anyway, long cringe this morning. This morning. I assume you're listening to this in the morning. Long cringe at the top of the show. It's the morning of the show.
Exactly.
And it's time to move into late morning / lunchtime. Because we've got a lot to talk about today, and I want to make sure we get to it. So I'm really, really excited to have you on the podcast, Gretchen, to share with us this like beginning of a little mini series we're going to be doing. I'm not sure if like we're going to be releasing these episodes like consistently back to back, or if we'll do maybe like one a month like we tend to do with books. But I I've been thinking about this for a really long time, and I've come to terms with the fact that I just really miss Harry Potter. And
So embarrassing. That's
I,
your
I never thought
cringe.
I'd hear you say that.
I know. And I think that this podcast is like the right way to talk about Harry Potter. Like I think that a lot of you know that I used to host a Harry Potter podcast where we went chapter by chapter through the entire series, and it started from this position of like glorifying Harry Potter. And I just think that that was like the wrong tone. Obviously, we changed tones as the series progressed and as the author became like an outwardly bad person. But I, I also think that reading them so slowly, it was there's too much to pick apart when you're doing it that slowly. So I asked Gretchen if she would be willing to come on the show to start covering Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone with us. And I'm really grateful that you agreed to give it this opportunity. And I think that the burn before reading lens on Harry Potter is going to be way better than the restricted section take on it, honestly. So you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Woo! Harry
Um,
Potter.
I have my copy right here of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which I originally got in 1999, maybe. Oh my God,
Oh,
Gretchen's got hers. We're holding
yes,
them up if you're
Gretchen.
watching on YouTube. It has Christina Kahn peace sign on the inside
Oh my
cover,
God.
which is how I used to sign my name. It also has a book. What are these called? Um, Book plate that says "From the Library of Christina." The cover is disintegrating in my hands. The pages are falling out, like the leaves are completely broken. So I didn't read. This is no longer a reading copy for me. I have a mass market paperback I read. Gretchen, how old is your copy?
It is from second grade. It has all of my, oh, you can't see,
Oh yeah. Oh,
all of my stuff. It says Gretchen Spindler, my parents' home phone number that no longer exists,
oh my
and then class
Oh,
God.
2B.
That
And it
is
is
really cute.
falling apart.
These books
It
hell yeah.
is,
these books fall
it
apart.
was well loved.
Well
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look.
loved.
And Leela, did you do the audiobook?
I did want to try the audiobook.
She's the audiobook queen.
Yeah, I just like find it easier because I like to walk about and do stuff. And I still don't love Jim Dale that much.
Who's the
But
other?
Stephen
Stephen
Fry.
Fry also did it. You might want to try the Stephen
yeah,
Fry version since we're going to be doing the whole series
I'll give the Fry
eventually.
a try, yeah. And then
Try, try a Fry.
there's the new like cast
Oh, the full
recording.
cast.
Yeah, I
I
mean
forgot
that
about
might be
that.
kind of fun. I would like to maybe hear not a man doing Hermione's voice for once. So
It's really, I mean, she's not even in this, like in the, well, she's not even in
sure.
this until like halfway through the book, but it is, it's like bad, and I think as she gets older, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that her voice is nice in my head, the way that she's written, but
No. But to have like a fully grown adult man doing an impression of a shrill tween,
It's not great.
it's tough.
but Harry, no, anything I do is better than him
Yeah,
because
it's
I'm
still
a
so much
girl.
better.
And because if I say a woman's shrill, it's because she's shrill, okay? It's not because I'm sexist.
Yeah, I'm
What
pretty
was
sure
I?
that's JKR's exact description of her and every woman in this
Yeah.
book. So,
Yeah, I was listening. What was I listening to? And I was like, damn, she is shrill. And I'm like, sometimes women are just shrill.
it's so true. We be
Um,
shrill.
yeah, oh, maybe it was myself. Maybe I was editing last week's podcast
Damn,
episode.
she's shrill as hell.
Shrill as hell. Okay, so let's jump in because we have a lot of book to cover. So, as everyone knows, it feels so weird to be talking about this book again. As everyone knows, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone starts with
A
Mr. and Mrs.
kiss.
Dursley of
Speculate.
number 4 Privet Drive. We're proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. What an intriguing first line for children and adults, I think.
Sure.
Sure. And I think it's interesting that this book starts with a muggle. There's only a couple muggle chapters, and they're all at the beginning of the book. There's this chapter,
hmm
there's Frank Bryce in book 4, the grounds key or the caretaker or whatever. And then there's one of my favorite chapters in the whole series, the Muggle Prime Minister in book 6.
Oh yeah.
I love that chapter.
Mhm.
So yeah, we start by just going with Vernon throughout his day. And he has what sounds to me to be a bad, boring life.
It sounds awful.
He makes drills.
It's so phallic.
It is really phallic. I've
Oh my
never
God,
thought of that
yeah.
before. Like
Mm-mm.
very
It's
masculine,
a proper
but
man's job.
it's a proper man's job. But I think my understanding is that he works in an office. So it's not like
Oh,
he's a
Yeah, he's
laborer.
he's
a
like a
manager.
manager.
He's a
Mhm.
Jesus.
manager. I wonder if he started out as a laborer, like working with his hands.
Mm.
He strikes me as not the kind
Vernon?
of guy who would do that.
No.
You think, but maybe that's what Petunia was like, ooh, this hot laborer. And then he became a manager and like, let's just say had a little bit too much tea and cakes. Um,
Mm. And he
not to fat
became
shame, but the author certainly does. So,
so true. I feel like it's a trope in media where I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the last place I saw this, but like some grizzled old man like grabs some young man's hands and is like, "These hands have never labored. These are soft writer's hands." Was that in Shakespeare in Love, Leela, or something like
all I
that?
can think of is Jaws currently,
Oh
but
yeah,
that has that
Jaws. They
trope.
do that to Hooper.
Yeah,
Hopper? No, that's
it's
Stranger
Hooper.
Things. It's Hooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it honestly, I think that I'm spoiled too because going into an office for any reason kind of sounds terrible to me.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
When am I gonna
I
do
have
my
to do it
laundry?
once a week and it sucks.
Once a week.
Or no,
Okay.
sorry, once a month. 1 week a month. I miss, yeah.
A
Oh,
whole
one
It
week.
still
week a
sucks.
month?
A whole week a month. Every third
That
week of the month,
sounds
I'm in an office.
that sounds
I hate
bad.
it.
If they like spread it out, fine. But to have 3 weeks off and 1 week on,
Yeah, I
that sounds
couldn't deal with
bad.
that. Yeah.
It's the worst. And I came from remote to that, and
Ugh,
Ooh, that's
I hate
tough.
it.
that's really bad. So Vernon goes about his day, and all seems normal, but he keeps hearing these whispers about Harry Potter.
Oh my God, Harry Potter.
He keeps hearing these whispers about like something going on. There's people in weird clothes out and about, and he hears someone mention the name Harry Potter. And he's like, "Is that my nephew?" And I'm trying to think like if I would even if I didn't like my nephew, if I would not know his name.
Oh, that's the implication here. It's not
Yeah,
Hmm.
because
like, could it be another Harry Potter?
he
Like,
goes, no, remember he goes
He
home
thinks it's like, oh,
and
it's Harold or
yes.
Homer or something
He
like
goes home and
that.
he's like, "Petunia, what's your nephew's name again?" Which by the way, that's not her nephew. That's y'all's nephew. I did this to Greer recently because I've got a new nephew. He's like 7 months old. And I was like, "Greer, this is your nephew. We're not even married." I'm like, "But this baby is your nephew." And he's like, "Fine." What? I think I would know his name.
yeah, it seems like it's kind of a small family too. Like, we
Mhm.
don't hear much about other like cousins or anything like that. So that's very he just doesn't give a
He
shit.
doesn't give a shit. He did not file it into long-term storage.
No.
Nope. Purposely avoids it.
Yeah. So she's like, no, it's Harry Potter. And he's like, oh, no big deal. No big deal. No big deal. Um, I forgot to mention, crucially, that all day long there's been a cat on the street outside his house. Now, if you live in a neighborhood like mine, that's normal.
Yeah. Same.
But this cat is has a different intensity. This cat is like doing something. And what it's doing is like waiting and watching, which I think like normal cats, it's hard because the normal cat would wait and watch you. Penny
It's
does it
a
all the
really
time.
good, it's a good like form to take because cats do be mysterious like that.
They be mysterious, they be inexplicable, and like is like I can imagine like is that cat still sitting there? Wasn't he sitting here 8 hours ago when I left for work? Like, yeah, he came back. I don't know what you
Yeah.
want from me. Like, no, I got nothing. Cats are freaks.
So true.
So that night, it switches like perspective away from Vernon, and all the lights on the street go out, and this man appears. You know who?
Voldemort. I'm just kidding.
What a twist! This guy's like got purple robes and like a long beard and like pointy shoes.
Hot.
Honestly, I was gonna say looks like a homie to me. I'm trying to think if I saw this man walking down my street, I would probably be like, that's a cool guy. I will say where Leela and I live, there are just like characters
It's
out
true.
and about. I wouldn't be that weirded out. I would be like, this actually feels normal to me. Like must be going to a party or perhaps not.
Yeah.
Um, and he appears, and so at this moment, it's revealed to us that the cat is not a cat after all. The cat transforms into Professor McGonagall. And they work together. They're coworkers, actually. And you'll learn a lot more about that later. But Dumbledore turns to Professor McGonagall and says, April Fool's Day, you fucking idiots. I'm not covering Harry Potter on my podcast.
Thank fucking God. As we were talking about that, I was like, there's nothing more to say on this. We have nothing more to say.
I think you covered more than adequate amount.
Yeah, shout out to Phil for that clever idea. I'm really glad we have an episode coming out on April Fool's Day because the DXM creators always talk about pranking our listeners for April Fool's Day, but nobody's ever done it before.
Yeah.
Success!
We would not do that to you guys or to us, frankly.
I would simply rather never podcast again, and I quite like podcasting.
Yeah. It's just again, there's nothing else to say. It's all been said
I'll be said.
by us.
And
we hate her.
Yeah, it hurts to have it in my brain for that long. So let's move on. Here's the prank part two. We're talking about Twilight today.
Yay, Gretchen!
I think a change of decoration is in order. We're here to talk about Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, which
It's basically as cringe as Harry Potter.
I think it's so much less cringe. It's so much less cringe than Twilight, if you ask me, but we're gonna get into it. But I just want to say, like, I am so grateful that Twilight has like replaced Harry Potter as like that series in my life, you know?
Yeah, I agree. As problematic as it is, and Stephanie Meyer is, like, I don't know. I just don't think she's that problematic. I just think she's a dumb bitch. You know what I mean? And so
Girl,
are we. Who
don't
among
I?
us?
Yeah, and we still need to do an episode about Stephanie, but we're
That's
here to
true.
talk about Edward Cullen.
Yes, I know what you were thinking. Like, you know what Twilight needs? It needs the man's point of view.
And I don't know if this is a hot take. I agree.
I would not have agreed. I did not. I thought the premise was dumb. And well, let's get into it. I also enjoyed this way more than I thought I would. It was too verbose, too detailed.
Of course,
What
it's
else
fucking
is
800
new?
pages long.
Like that's insane.
Um,
Um,
Gretchen, I want to hear before we weigh in. I know that you read this like way back when you came on for Breaking Dawn, the
oh
movie.
yeah.
Did you
Hmm.
reread it again for this?
Yes, I did.
Oh
And
my
I
God, you're
got all but
Wow.
crazy.
30 minutes done. I was trying to finish it up tonight. This is actually my third time reading Midnight Sun.
Okay, did you read it
But
for
Okay.
the
yes,
first time when it came out in 2020?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So have has your has your take on this book changed? You still feel the same as you did when you
Nope.
first read it?
Yep.
Okay, so
Okay.
what's your take?
I The first half pisses me off. Edward is the most whiny bitch in all the land. He's a drama queen. I cannot stand a point of view. After the meadow,
Interesting.
it kind of is like, okay, we're getting somewhere. We're less of a whiny bitch. I even like my first note is, oh my God, he's such a drama queen the entire book.
That's so funny because I felt totally opposite.
Really?
I was like, he actually is making me a lot more compassionate for his perspective. And I feel like his anxieties are a lot clearer to me now. Okay. So Leela, you liked it, but it was too long.
Yeah.
I liked it and it was also too, I mean, it's just too long.
I still love it.
You enjoyed
I
it.
fucking love it.
I
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, I certainly found him a little whiny, but I I don't know. I don't
I
know.
found
We'll
him
talk about it. I have a lot of notes about
okay.
Edward's character because that's the point. So this, for those who don't know, the Twilight originally came out in what, 2005?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
Um, and Breaking Dawn had to come out in like 2010 or 11. This book, Midnight Sun, is a retelling of Twilight from Edward's perspective that was released in 2020. And in my opinion, the purpose of this book, the reason Stephanie Meyer wrote this book was because she collected over 10 years of critique about the Twilight series and was like, you know what? Some of this is valid and I'm going to fix it. Because there are very small things that get corrected in this. And by corrected, I mean we flagged them as being weird, creepy, inexplicable in the original Twilight, and in this, she provides some explanation. Here's an example of like a really small thing she didn't have to do, but she obviously saw online criticism of this and decided to explain it. There's this line in the original Twilight book where Bella Swan freaks out about what she should wear for her date with Edward, and she decides on a blue shirt and a khaki skirt, floor length skirt. And she comes down the stairs, and Edward says, you are delicious. Where is it? Indecent. He calls her indecent. And we're like, what the fuck is wrong with this man? Literally, Stephanie Meyer took the opportunity of writing this book to explain 100 pages earlier when they are in Port Angeles at the restaurant together that Bella is wearing a specific kind of low cut blue blouse that highlights the shape of her clavicles and makes her skin look like really pale and soft and pretty. So he has this like backstory of being horny for this specific shirt. When Bella puts it on in Twilight, she's like, that's a shirt. But in Breaking Dawn, I mean, what's this book called? In Midnight Sun, when she comes down the stairs, he's like, oh my God, it's that shirt. Like, that's the level of like small thing that Stephanie Meyer was like, no, 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 no. He's not horny for her khaki skirt. There's a reason.
It's that low cut blouse.
It's the low cut blouse. Granted, she looks great in blue, I will say.
Yeah. I like a brunette, a pale brunette looks good in blue. I agree.
A blue net.
A brunette.
Where should we even begin? Let's talk about Bella.
Yeah.
So, Gretchen, how do you feel this book changes or fails to change or attempts to change your opinion of Bella based like from the original series?
I don't think it really does.
Really?
She has a lot less mentions than you think, being a book basically all about her,
Agreed.
and his obsession with
He
her.
calls her the
But
girl for the first 300 pages.
yeah, yeah, she's almost like nothing sauce for it. So I don't know, it didn't really change my mind about her much. I love the original Twilight and Bella's point of view, but I don't know. It's pretty much the same for me.
Okay, Leela, what about you?
It totally changed things for me. I have always been so bored and irritated with Bella, but reading from his point of view, for because Bella, it's written from her perspective, and Bella like doesn't like herself. She doesn't feel like she's deserving of his love, and um all we hear is that she's like doesn't like her friends, and just trips all the time and has like no personality. But from Edward's point of view, because he's like, observing her, that's saying it lightly, so intently, we see that
Wait, hold on, I
she,
got a quote.
okay,
Just give me a second. Like a stalker, an obsessed vampire stalker, page 83.
yeah, poetry. Because he's an obsessed vampire stalker, he notices just like little things about her that are very kind and brave that I feel like I don't pick up at all on in Twilight.
Yeah,
That's
She's
true.
she's
I
standing up for classmates. She's making sure to include people who feel left out. She's
yeah.
um
I got it.
yeah.
It was often like this with her, never stepping out of her quiet comfort zone except for someone else's perceived need. Changing the subject whenever her circle of human friends grew too cruel to one another, thanking a teacher for their lesson if that teacher seemed down, giving up her locker for a more inconvenient location so two best friends could be neighbors, smiling a certain smile that never surfaced for her contented friends, only revealing itself to someone who was hurting. I do think that Stephanie did that because she's like, oh, I hear that everyone hates Bella Swan. But
Yeah.
what if you were in love with her?
And I like that he describes her as brave. What this book told me, let's just like go back to Harry Potter. I can't help it. I'm a
Fuck!
millennial. Um,
The joke's on us
she's
now.
she's like the worst kind of Gryffindor. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that's what she is. She's
Oh my
she's
gosh, she's a
she's
total
nothing else.
Neville.
She's like a Neville, but like not as interesting.
Agreed.
Like
Neville's a great character.
like, don't be like, there's no need to be brave if there's no way for you to be able to protect yourself, do anything about things. Like, that's just being stupid. And that's the kind of brave that she is. Now,
Yeah,
eh,
she's brave
right.
enough that sorry, going through all. Oh, she's brave enough that Edward literally wonders if she is actually insane and needs actual treatment. He's like, should I institute? He literally goes through this whole thing. He's like, should I institutionalize her? Carlisle could oversee her treatment. I could still talk to her. It could be okay. Like, he's like, this is not how people should act. Diving
What
straight on a vampire.
what made Bella be this way? Like, is it
And it's
part of
Renee.
Renee? Yeah, because she's like Renee liked to keep the weekends free for adventures. So there was that bit in here that we read. I don't know though. I feel like I've got stuff to say about Renee too, now that we know what goes on in her head. Um,
Yeah.
and Charlie. I actually really liked the Renee and Charlie insights to be able to see into everybody's head. That was
Yeah.
really fun for me. I think that was like my favorite part of this book.
Why don't you describe? Let's assume nobody's read this 750 page long book. So why
Sure.
don't you describe it quickly?
Okay. So in Twilight, Renee is Bella's mother, and Bella is definitely like the parent out of their relationship. It's just for a long time just Renee and Bella,
Yeah,
and
and Bella never phrases it like that, but Edward like sees it right away and is like
immediately
constantly noting it.
she's the adult, Renee is the child. Renee needs constant reassurance, constant supervision, like constant validation. Um, but she's painted by Bella as just being kind of endearingly quirky. Um, Edward actually says in this book that there's something about having the type of personality that you're just catered to your entire life probably made her a narcissist. Renee, I mean,
Like a
um,
nice narcissist.
he
She's
uses
like
the
a
word
nice, fun
narcissist.
person, but yeah, like an inability to kind of like, for example, my mother would rather fucking die than allow me to leave her life because she had a new
Right.
man.
Which
Like,
that's like the whole reason why Bella even met Edward, like, and came
yeah.
to Forks. That is crazy when you think about it. But Bella frames it as no one asked me to leave. I did it because I felt like they needed privacy, which again is so say no. Say no, I love you.
Hmm.
Stay with me.
Please don't leave. You have one more year of school left. I think I can handle it.
Right. Uproot your entire life. You're a minor, like you don't even know your dad. Anyway, so I feel like I dislike Renee more after reading this book. Um,
We'll talk a little bit about how Edward reads her mind.
so Edward, I love the descriptions for mind reading. So in general.
I
So
did
in
too.
this book, her mind is it's like a scream. How she thinks is like her thoughts are like a scream,
Honestly, relatable. I feel like I would be the same.
a frantic, constant scream. And Edward is just like shocked on the first time he encounters her because he's like, "Who the fuck is screaming?"
I mean,
And
I'm sure that's happened to you in real life with speech, where you meet someone and you're like, "Oh my God, why are you screaming?" Some people
yep,
just like be screaming.
yes, it's
And that's coming
true.
from me,
I
a
usually try
screamer.
to do this, like kind of
Like
react a
cringe
little bit and
away.
back up.
Yeah.
But those people don't understand that reaction. I can tell you they've been getting that their whole lives and not reacting. Like our friend Nico, he's a real talk screamer. At this point
Oh
in
gosh,
our
you're right.
friendship, I just say, Nico, shh. And
Yeah,
then usually
gotta.
you have to. Renee is like that. But she scream thinks.
Scream
Perhaps she
things.
also scream talks.
We don't know.
We don't know. But something that Edward notices in irritation is at the end of the book when Bella is hospitalized with like every bone broken and like bruises all over her face,
Okay, it's
and
one leg bone broken.
it's
Oh,
her
and some ribs. I
multiple
forgot about the ribs.
ribs and something's wrong with her
Ribs like
face.
don't matter. You can't do anything to fix those.
Yeah, but it hurts.
Yeah, you're
Um,
right. You're right.
um, her mom comes in and like needs reassurance.
Yeah,
Like,
like Bella is reassuring her mom right away.
and Edward is like something about he's I think pretending to be asleep at that moment or something, or listening next door creepily, something. And he's like something about like this about Bella who is hospitalized having to reassure her perfectly healthy mom just doesn't rub me the right way. Um
Good. Good,
and
Edward.
I'm like, yeah, that's accurate. But I'm sure, of course, if he said anything like that to Bella, she would be like,
To be
"You
like,
don't
oh.
understand our relationship." Um,
Yeah,
so
I
She
feel
even
like
says like in it like Bella would never say anything against Renee, even though like there's a lot of fucked up shit there.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like when you love someone, you can see things a lot more clearly than they can about their own life, and you also know what you can and can't broach, you know?
yeah, there's some things you just that it's like not your place to talk about. Um,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
on the other end of things, Charlie and his thoughts. So I like the way that she wrote this, that Stefani wrote this because um
It's
basically
Stephanie. The
Stefani.
point is that
Oh
it's
my God.
not an A.
You're right, Stefani.
Hmm.
So you've got the balance in between somehow of Renee scream thinking, and her thoughts are clear as a bell, and then Charlie is has these like muffled, incoherent thoughts that are very
Like
difficult
vibes
for.
only.
Yeah, he's like more vibing. Like Edward
So
has a
funny.
real tough time reading him, which to me tells me that Bella is a lot more like Charlie, which we already knew. Um,
Yeah, the way that we're like LOL, he can't read Bella's mind because there's no thoughts in that stupid brain. I think that joke is like way funnier about Charlie because that's a simple man right there.
It is. He is a simple man. He's coming home. He's just thinking about lasagna. And
Yeah, I have
Lasagna and fishing.
yeah.
that's our guy. I think it's weird that he keeps his fishing equipment in the cupboard in the cabinet and like a closet or something when they surely have a shed. Who doesn't have a shed?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Stephanie was like doesn't really know about outdoor. Well, she's from Utah.
She's from Utah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Question though, like Edward can't hear Bella's thoughts because she has a shield around her body.
Yes.
Is Does Carlisle have a shitty shield around his body? Like, what's up with
Charlie.
that? Oh, what did I say?
Carlisle.
Ugh,
Carlisle.
whatever. Does Charlie like what? It just is that a shield or is that just it to me? Because to me, it seems like a completely different mechanic than the way we get to Bella's mechanic.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
think it
seems,
is different. Charlie's just like he's so like toned down, just like personality wise, like he's so chill that like I feel like he's got like a stoner brain where it's just like, yeah, everything's
yeah,
good.
yeah. That's a good way to
Cool.
put it. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's
Instead
think
kind
of
of crazy for a sheriff to be like, all good. Maybe his brain's been like I don't want to say
there's
dumbed
nothing that
down, but
happens in
like
forks.
desensitized.
yeah, and I think reading Twilight and not knowing what's going on in everyone's brains, I would say, yeah, Charlie also has this wall up, and that's he's got this like strong shield, the strong wall up, and that's why Bella is the way that she is. If
Hmm.
I knew, but we don't know that Edward can't reach his vine mill, whatever. But reading this, and his only thoughts are like fishing. I love Bella. Like it is
Literally.
he's just a simple man. He's just a simple man.
Hmm.
And I guess you're right. I think it is like it's like stoner brain vibes only. Um
It made to me like
Interesting.
it made when Bella is says the unforgivable thing that her mother said when she was leaving
Which
Charlie.
I had to skip that part, honestly. I'm like, I
It
can't do this
Huh.
again.
Yeah, it made me like feel actually like way sadder for him because Edward is like cringing away from having to like hear the like
Ugh,
discombobulated like panic and
Devastation.
hurt. Ugh.
horrible.
So I don't
He
really
kind
have.
of
Oh, go right ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he kind of reminds me of like the dad in like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I don't know if y'all
I
know
don't
that
remember
movie.
that.
He's just like he's a fisher, and he's just like like the most stoic man you've ever seen. Just like I think he says one word the entire movie, and it's just like,
Mm-hmm. I get the
yep,
type.
yeah.
Like Brosnan in Eurovision when he plays Will Ferrell's dad, which I don't think that math adds up. Maybe it does.
Yeah, wait, probably not.
My only other note about Renee, oh my God, I almost said Renesmee. My only other note about Renee is that there's this detail randomly. There's this one point we have to the it was very hard for me to live through the 400 pages of asking each other questions, but from the other perspective this
Yeah,
time. Please let's
agreed.
cut through some of this. But there's this point where Edward is like, what tell me about your mom, and Bella just starts listing things, and she says my mom really likes to go to the Ren Fair, and I feel like in 2005 that would have been a like psychotic thing to add to a character description. Like Ren Fairs were not poppin' in 2005 when the original Twilight came out the way they are now.
They weren't cool. It
They
wasn't
weren't
cool to
cool.
go there. Like that was like, oh, you must be some big nerd. I don't get that vibe from Renee at all. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess
Mm-mm.
that's the coolest thing about her so far.
Yeah, I just thought that was a really I'm like, never could you ever have written this back then.
No. Yeah, that
I,
doesn't make
Does she
sense.
mention the Ren Fair in the original
no,
Twilight? No.
absolutely
Okay.
not. No way. I meant to like there's like a lot of stuff that gets said in this book where I'm like, I don't think that's how this went in the original one.
I
Or
was
like
wondering how much of it was like that.
I like intended to sit down and compare certain conversations, but then I don't get paid to do this podcast, so I didn't.
Yeah.
But the way I was like, maybe these conversations in Midnight Sun are like going on longer than like I feel like there's definitely probably a combination. I feel like there's definitely scenes where Bella is like, yeah, this happened, but Edward like writes every exchange. Or maybe like Bella in Twilight like cut it off earlier, but like Edward keeps going or something. There's definitely stuff
Yeah.
where I'm like, I've never heard that before in my life.
Yeah. I think I took it as like Bella just didn't find that important, especially when she's talking about herself. She's like, I'm so boring. Who would even care about little old me? You know?
Yeah. I
Yeah, everything's
also,
focused fully on Edward.
Yeah.
yes. And to me, and like in Midnight Sun, everything is very focused on Bella because it's through Edward's perspective. But Edward has this like big, vibrant family that's like very involved in the whole book. And Edward is constantly in each other in other people's minds too. So it didn't feel nearly as isolated as like Bella's perspective, Bella's point of view to me. There's like a lot more interesting things going on.
Yeah.
And something about 100 years of boredom combined with like Bella being like 16 or whatever, I'm like, it makes like so much more sense to me that Edward becomes like this obsessed with like the only interesting thing that's happened to him in a century. I just found it like, I found his obsession with her more believable and like less annoying than her obsession with him, to be honest. Um, I want to, like, for those who haven't read, I want to say before we go any further that like, Edward meets Bella. He's like, wow, she smells like dinner. I'm gonna try to like not be around her. And then what like kind of forces their relationship to come to a head is that Alice has these visions, and Alice is like, basically, Alice is like, you're either gonna turn her into a vampire or kill her.
Yeah.
Congrats, have fun. And Edward's like, no, I'm not doing either one of these things to this random girl I just met. But like, imagine if that happened to you. Imagine if you met someone new and like someone you knew had precognition was like, oh, you're gonna marry that guy. That you couldn't act normal. You couldn't just like be chill.
No.
You couldn't be like, oh, I won't talk to him because I don't want to do that.
It's like being Alice's sibling is such a burden. Like I
Especially when
understand.
you can see what she's seeing.
Oh, yes, because then it's like she's like, I didn't even say anything, like
Yeah, I actually like deeply loved getting to see more of like the vampire fan, like the Cullens as a whole and Alice's powers specifically. Like I feel like I mean, I love Twilight, but like why would you ever pick that point of view when there's like this much interesting content going on in Edward's point of view? There's so much interesting vampire shit happening. There's so much more cool stuff to talk about. I loved at the end when they're trying to like stage Bella's accident, which is to cover up the fact that she got like almost murdered by a vampire. Alice is like, here's what I'll do. And then she like sees the vision of that happening, sees where she made a mistake, and is like, oh, I'll do this thing different. And then she like watches the vision again and she's like, oh, no, I need to do this too. And then like keeps watching the vision until it goes exactly the way she wants it to. I thought that was very long, a very long scene, but
I
I
was
thought it
gonna
was like
say.
extremely interesting.
I
I
think the
loved seeing
idea,
that.
yeah, I think the idea was really interesting, but I did skip a little bit because it was just too long. It was
I
too
read
long.
I skipped I texted Leela. I was like, you can skip this, you can skip this.
Yeah.
But like I read every word of that because to me it read like at the end of a heist when they're like, this is how we did it. But it's like before it happens. I found it like so interesting. I also really loved when like they're like driving as fast as they can toward Bella and Phoenix and like Edward is driving and all of them have their heads. This is, I would never have thought of this. This is so crazy. All of them have their heads out the window and they are working together as, quote, one perfectly focused organism
Yes.
because he's like looking through all of their brain. He's like super driving. He has like 10 eyes and he's like driving so hard. Like, I think that is so much cooler than
Yes.
Bella Swan whining in an airport or like whatever happens in Twilight.
Yeah.
I did love and I'm not really one for like action driving scenes, but especially in
Oh,
books.
I did tell you,
But
I was like, they spent 18 pages switching cars. Like, you should skip that.
um,
There's a little too
I
much detail.
I really liked it as well, though. I like the idea of it. Some of the switching car stuff I did skip, but
Like, oh my God, I don't care what kind of car you're driving.
they care a lot. I don't know. Do you think Stephanie like really likes cars?
I think Stephanie has a lot of siblings, so my guess is that she
Oh,
knows a lot about cars from a sibling. Just to guess, maybe
okay.
Jacob. Maybe it's Jacob.
Oh yeah, maybe it's
Um,
Jacob Edward.
but I also do feel like
Edward
she
Jacob.
very much just wanted to show her work in this. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she was like, I need you to understand how they did this because it's not as easy as you're thinking or whatever.
I will say, like, I was surprised with her car choices because, like, there's a ton of really, really rich people that live here, and they could have picked much faster cars than they got.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're dumb and know close to nothing
And I'm
about
not Googling
cars.
that shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, I
um
just know because, like, I've seen them, like, on the road here, and I
Yeah,
was like,
okay.
they could have picked, like, any number of these instead of just, like, some random, like, he was looking for a 350Z, and I was like, you could just jack someone's like Ferrari or Lamborghini or McLaren or something like that. And it's probably going to go faster than that.
I
but
recommend
would
I
they
don't know
all
a lot
fit?
about
cars.
cars, but
Oh yeah, there was like five of them.
So
yeah,
like
that's true.
a zippy little
Okay.
sports car probably wouldn't work.
Um,
Yeah.
I refuse to Google any of these cars. However, I'm listening to this podcast that's like a D&D podcast set in the 50s and they're like, this is the kind of car we're driving. And I was like, I don't care. And then all of the players were like, I'm gonna Google it real quick. And they started screaming because apparently there's like an ad of this car from the 50s. It's a car. And there's a horse in the car. There, it's like the first hatchback ever invented, and so they're like, look how big the trunk opens, and there's just
Oh
like a
my
horse in it. So I was
God.
like, all right, I'll Google this, and there is an ad with a horse in the back of the car.
Man,
Are we
car
going to share what
commercials.
car it is? I want
Oh,
to see now.
yeah, let me see.
God, car commercials suck now.
Yeah,
They
they're
really
They're
do.
horrible. Also, they're not real. Like, I know I can't drive my Subaru up a mountain. Don't lie to me.
Do people say that?
That's why they always driving
They're
up
supposed to
and
be all-wheel drive.
through the
Yeah.
woods up mountains in commercials.
Wait, you could drive up a mountain on a road.
Yeah, but it's not on roads. It's like through the woods to
I
grandmother's
mean, I
house.
think
Yeah, it's
you
like
like could.
off-roading.
Oh, that's what they call
You
It's
should
a
be able to. It's a 4x4 usually.
The car in question, and by the way, this is Dungeons and Daddies. It's actually a Call of Cthulhu season, but the car in question is a Hold on, where'd it go? Kaiser Fraser Vagabond. And
Damn.
I'll show you guys the picture with the horse. Can you see?
Oh my
Oh, wow.
God.
They're like,
Yeah.
check out this horse.
That's so funny. It's like a farm work they're trying to
It's really goofy.
put out. Oh my God.
So back to Bella. I agree that like I think that I found her flaws more tolerable in this. I think that Edward very much looks at her like, okay, Edward has spent 100 years like kind of not paying attention to humans. And now because of Alice's vision, he's like paying really close attention to this one human. And he like really romanticizes humanity.
Yes.
It's not like Bella's narrative where she's like, I tripped and almost died and I'm not gonna work on that. It's Edward's like her little tripping steps, like, oh, her sweet little mortal flesh or whatever. Like he thinks it's cute. Like he's like humans are so dumb and cute and silly. Like I think the tone is really different.
I will say, like, I still don't like the very little amount of autonomy that he wants for Bella. Like it's mostly like, oh, my opinion is this, my choices for your future, especially like after she gets hurt in the ballet studio and Carlisle's like, it's your choice. Do you want her to die or do you want her to become a vampire or live? Like this is your choice alone. I was like, we're not gonna ask Bella what she wants.
Um, I totally get what you're saying. I wonder if she could have weighed in her state.
I think
Well,
she
even
could
like some
barely
of the rest of the
talk.
book is like that too, where everyone's like, oh, this is my choice. This is my opinion, and we're gonna go this way. Like, Bella, you're just along for the ride.
Mm, yeah, there's definitely some of that. I feel like some of that. Here's the thing. So some stuff gets explained, and I am not here saying explaining fixes it. I'm saying that sometimes the explaining explains it. You know what I mean? Like he does certain things like he is what am I looking for? Like okay, let's talk for example about what I viewed as an extreme anxiety problem about Bella's mortality. It is like almost like OCD levels of like intense like obsessive anxiety about like her mortality, her safety as a mortal. Like again, like I said, like it's been 100 years since he's thought about a mortal at all, really. And he's like, I forgot how breakable you are, and I would really rather you not break. And like, I cannot believe how hard that is.
Yeah.
And he like is viewing himself as like he's like I can both protect her, but I'm also like the one who might harm her. And that anxiety is 89% of this book. It is what makes him pretty annoying because it's like, oh my God, just eat her or don't. I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, so I feel like some of his actions, I'm like, I get why you're doing this. And it's because you are like crazy with anxiety about this girl that is breakable. Even though I don't agree. I'm gonna read this section that where'd my book go? Oh. I'm gonna read this section. Like his anxiety, I mean, it shocked me. Because from Bella's perspective in Twilight, it almost feels like cavalier. He's like, you're a real fucking klutz, aren't you? LOL, good thing I'm here to take care of you. No, he
Yeah.
is plagued with anxiety about her, about how killable she, about how dieable she is. This really drove it home. He's talking to Emmett. He's talking to Emmett and he says, um, she could run into a bear or get hit by a car or lightning or fall down the stairs or get sick, get a disease. Fires and earthquakes and tornadoes. Ugh, when's the last time you watched the news? Have you seen the kinds of things that happen to them? Burglaries and homicides. Um, I just was like, I mean, for real, the reason that we don't think about it is because we are all living in these fragile flesh sacks all the time, and you have to not think about that stuff if you want to carry on, you know?
Yes. Yeah. And
That's
he's
true.
like, I haven't considered that in 100 years. I
Yeah,
can't even remember what it was like to be human.
yeah.
So it's fair.
So
Um,
I don't think it excuses him being really
no.
controlling, but I think I have like more empathy for his perspective.
I also think that despite him having lived 100 years, he does come off he comes off as a 17-year-old in this. Like I get it.
Absolutely.
I get it more. Because, let me think. So he notices the effect he has on every woman except for Bella, right? He notices that every woman around him, because he can read their thoughts, and also, like, I guess that's why. But
That one secretary who's like, he's too young for you,
he's
honey.
too
He's
young.
too
He's too young.
young.
He's too young. Love's like, girl. Um,
Yikes.
and when Bella has the exact same reaction, he's like, I must be scaring her. And it's like, are you? But sometimes boys be that dumb. Like you have to be so obvious, especially teenage boys. It's like she couldn't possibly like me, the most beautiful man that's ever existed in anyone's life here. Like, I'm like, you're such an idiot. They're both like that. They're both such idiots. And she's like, who could like little old me with my beautiful, glowing, ivory, creamy, perfect skin and my flowing hair and my skinny, skinny, flat belly? Like, shut up, Bella. Um, I got it. I don't know. I understood it more. I was like, it felt like less creepy. For some reason, the the weird like baby dating a old monster dynamic, it felt more not even, but like it felt
Um,
less weird.
yeah, I kind of feel you. I mean, I think not having her monologue makes her seem not so young and
True.
dumb. Having his monologue, I think he's dumb, but I think he is like stressing about stuff that makes sense to stress about. I don't know. Like
Yeah. But I do
I
still think he comes off as his age.
I
Like,
agree. And the exception to that being, I was pretty impressed with, I mean, and please disagree, everyone disagree with me if I say a single thing you don't agree with, but I felt pretty impressed with the language Stephanie Meyer used in his narrative for fucking 770 pages or whatever. Her like word choice and like syntax and phrasing was like notably different from how she wrote Bella because he's from fucking 1901 or whatever. And so I was impressed. She threw out some words where I was like, she did a would that I could, and I was like, whoa, Stephanie, good
it's like
job.
she's been like reading and like thesaurussing, I think.
Yeah,
And like good for
I
her.
was impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's especially clear that it's different with like his flashbacks, like his monster times. He definitely speaks a lot more like he's from the century he was born in instead of modern times, and you
Yeah,
kind of get that like vintage feel.
yeah, I liked it.
I let's talk about how some of the other characters are presented now that we know their inner thoughts and Edward's point of view. Um,
Jessica changes not even a little bit, not even at all.
so that's
Everyone
I
hates
was like,
Jessica.
I would love it if he maybe we could make her a little sympathetic. But no, of course she writes it. She's like the reason she wrote it that way. So it's like Bella's not a bitch. Like Bella sensed that Jessica hated her all
Yeah.
along, and because she can't ever be wrong about anything. Um,
Yeah, but then Angela's perfect. And Edward's like, Angela's perfect.
yeah, I'm gonna give her a gift, the gift of a human boy.
That was that was actually so funny to me.
I
There's
loved
this
that
whole
scene.
elaborate they're like okay, wait. He's like Angela's so nice to Bella. I want to give her a present. And then he's like, I've been reading her mind for days, and the only thing that I can see is that she has a crush on this boy Ben, who I don't even remember Ben. I thought it was Eric, but whatever. Um, and so Emmett and Edward sit in front of Ben in one of their classes, and they stage this like elaborate ploy where Edward's like, yeah, I tried to ask out Angela, but she wasn't having it. And Emmett's like, what? No dice? And Edward's like, yeah, she likes some fuckboy named Ben. And Emmett's like, dude, he's right behind you.
That shit was
It's
so
so funny
funny.
and stupid. I love Emmett so much. He didn't change at all in this book, but I love him. It's like Edward keeps being like, he's a good person to know. Edward keeps being like, Emmett will not be mad at me. Emmett is never mad at me. Emmett cannot hold anger inside his body unless something is actively happening.
Yeah.
I frankly aspire to be more like Emmett.
I love him
Emma's the
too.
best.
He really is. And it's just and then his relationship with Rosalie is just like Edward's like he Emmett just like Rosalie loves him because she found someone to treat her like a goddess and worship her. And I'm like, and rightfully so. Okay, Queen, like I love that relationship. Like big, strong, dumb boy who worships. But
Yeah.
okay, do you want to get into
He's
Rosalie?
just so pure.
I really like the way that like Emmett is written and so neutrally too. Like there's this whole book is just like constant beef in the Cullen household. And Emmett is like I don't even want to say he's caught in the middle of Rosalie and Edward because he just like doesn't let that happen to himself. I'm like
Yeah.
how do you do that? Like how do you
Yeah.
not get involved? but he just like manages to stay like totally neutral between Edward and Rosalie and is like, I'll help you guys not kill each other, I guess.
And I think I get all I can think is that he's just so sweet and endearing that like no one can really be mad at him.
Is he sweet? Because I'm thinking about our friend Emily and about how she never gets wrapped up in bullshit, and people are like, it's because she won't care, she won't engage. And I'm like, I think you need a history of 10 plus years of being unwilling to engage before people stop asking you to engage.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
he's like that. I think he's just like sweet and pure and dumb in the
Ugh,
best way possible.
I want to be more
Agreed.
like him.
And then Rosalie. So again, Rosalie really doesn't change either. Uh, you know,
I got a quote.
okay.
Um, well, it's not a quote, but it involves Rosalie. So at a certain point, Edward explains that all of the Cullens, um, as vampires, have superpowers that they brought with them from their human lives. Um, Edward's always been good at reading people. Carlisle brought his compassion. Emmett brought his strength. Jasper brought his charisma, which is so funny if you watch the movies to suggest that that man has charisma. Um, Esme brought her ability to love, and Rosalie brought her beauty. These could not be more gendered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wait, what
it's
did Emmett bring?
Only
Strength?
Alice's is
strength.
cool.
Okay.
Only Alice's is cool. But
Yeah.
her backstory's fucking horrifying. So like I'm
Sure.
Oh
glad she has
yeah.
something good. Let's get to that in a little bit. But I just think that this is a this is Stephanie Meyer dumbly trying to like retcon having done something on purpose here when she like did not do anything on purpose. She's like Esme loves, and like I will say that she like underscores that pretty heavily in this book. Like she provides evidence. There's a lot more Esme in this than there was in Twilight, and Esme is just like a loving mom who
She's
supports
just
her kids.
yeah.
It's like not good enough.
No.
Nope.
And Rosalie's strength from life being her beauty is so
For
uninteresting.
pig-headedness.
Well, yeah,
That's what he tried to put it
that's what
into.
Edward says. He's like, I can't tell Bella that her strength is being the most beautiful girl in all the world, so I'll say her tenacity. But it's like so fucking boring. Like, oh, is this beautiful vampire
Mhm.
girl beautiful?
And
Great,
that's
you
like the
guys are
only thing
all
she ever
beautiful,
thinks about at all, ever.
and they're all beautiful. They're vampires. They're all beautiful. This isn't special. They're all strong. This isn't special.
Yeah.
Being able to see the future is special.
Yeah, reading minds, that's special. Um, yeah. Uh, I don't know. They just this narrative, I mean, I just kind of get the idea that like Edward really just doesn't like Rosalie very much. And so
Well, yeah, Carlisle was like, "Here, I got you this girlfriend," and Edward and Rosalie were like, "Ew, no." I like picturing those years where it was. I don't think it was very long, but picturing those years where it was just the three of them, awesome. Wait, or
yeah.
did they get Esme and then Rosalie?
Esme and then Rosalie.
Still, picturing a time where the two Cullen children were Rosalie and Edward is very funny to me.
Yeah. And it's like Rosalie never forgave Edward for, she's like, even though you're not my type, like the fact that I'm not your type is such a fucking slap in the face, and I'll
I get
never
it.
forgive you as long as I live.
Kind of get it.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
no, I'm breaking up with you. You're not breaking up with me.
Yeah, fuck you.
I need you to be
Um,
heartbroken about this.
yeah. Um,
Last thing I want to say about Esme,
oh,
just since we touched on her really quick, I feel like so she died by suicide. We learned that in Breaking Dawn in like one half of one sentence, and in this book we get three sentences adding to that story, saying that Carlisle made this choice to like make her a vampire, even though she tried on purpose to end her life. And that the very first thing she did when she opened her eyes was like fall in love with Carlisle.
It just
But she was already
sucks.
in love with him, right? Because
Oh yeah, she
like
was in love with him,
she
and
knew
then
who he
she's
was.
like, "I'm not mad at you because now we can be together." And I'm
I
like, "This
Ew,
wanted you
fucking sucks."
anyway.
didn't she know who he was because she like
Hmm.
had a
He
crush
was
on
a
him when she was a
child.
little girl?
Mhm.
Wait, hold
Oh,
on, hold on.
Yep. Yeah, he
gross.
was the doctor in her town or something like that when she was a
Yeah,
kid and like was obsessed with him.
yeah. It says the attachment haunted her for the rest of her human years. Um, but
Lucky
like
coincidence.
after the burning torment, okay, after the book doesn't say this. After trying to end her own life. After the burning torment of transformation, when she'd awakened to the face of her long cherished dream, her affections were entirely his.
Hmm.
Fucking whack, dude.
And this is definitely a response to readers being like, Stephanie, what the fuck, my guy? And
This
she's
was a
like,
whiff.
but
This was a
she,
fucking
but
whiff.
she loved him all along. So it was like, it
It
was
made
her
it so much worse.
destiny. I was
It
like,
made it so much worse.
babe, no, yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
I would like to pivot to, if we're ready, to Mike Newton, who
God, he got so much worse.
I actually have no
He's
qualms
bad.
with the boy. He is
Oh,
bad, but like not in a way that's surprising.
Yeah.
It-
he's a 17-year-old
He's
boy.
so
Yeah.
17
typically
year
a
old boys are
17-year-old year
gross.
old boy, and they are gross. I thought it was very funny for me to
Yeah.
hear his thoughts.
He's like very emotional. Teenage boys are very emotional.
Yes.
They just don't have good
Um,
outlets like the girls do.
yeah, not regulated. It's funny to hear how much Edward hates him. We don't really obviously know. Bella doesn't pay attention to shit. She's like, I
And Bella
think,
also hates him. She's like fucking good.
yeah. Um, I thought that was really funny. Um, Edward, I
I
feel
do
like
think
almost
Jessica
kills
and Mike
him
are the
several
best for
times.
each other.
Yeah, the just vanity meets idiot.
I wish we could see them do anything. Like I
That's
would
Yeah.
like
true.
to watch an encounter.
I mean, like, I know
Um,
they break up pretty quickly in like what New Moon or
Yeah,
Eclipse,
something.
but yeah, they seemed perfect for each other.
I
Oh
learned
my,
that Jessica has bigger boobs than Bella. That was news to me. I'm glad that I learned it.
yeah, thanks, Mike.
No, genuinely. I mean, these are the details I need to know.
I mean, I could have guessed
Yeah,
because Bella's waif waifish.
that's true.
I mean, even
Um,
Kristen Stewart versus Anna Kendrick is
my boobs
basically
look,
the same.
as Anna Kendrick says in the Twilight movie, my boobs look great in this.
And she was right.
Meanwhile, Bella's shirt goes up to here, her chin. Quote, Bella never wore makeup, nor should she.
Oh, that
She's
line
not
pissed
like
me
other
off.
girls.
I was like, shut up.
I know.
He's like,
Hmm.
I immediately noticed what was different about her. She was looking up at the rain. I was like, first of all, what the fuck?
Beef
What's wrong
jerky.
with you? That's the only reason girls don't look up at the sky when it rains is because they don't want to mess up their makeups. It's not because rain would get in your fucking eyes. That's so crazy. That was so dumb. I did not like that.
I know one girl like this. Never wears makeup and looks beautiful all the time. Do you know who I'm talking about, Leela?
Anna?
Yeah, Anna.
Okay.
Our friend
Yeah.
Anna. And that
Yeah.
means once every 3 years when she's in someone's wedding and they pay for her to have her makeup done, we're all like, whoa, 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 Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
I
Our
mean, like,
men are like tripping over statues looking at
They
her.
really are. She's one of those ones. Anna and Haley in our friend group, all the men are always like, what about that one?
That's so funny. The Haley one is always so funny, and I'm like barking up the wrong tree,
Doesn't she
Pally.
just radiate asexuality?
Yes. I'm like, leave her alone. That's what she wants.
Leave her alone. So many times
I mean,
people have
like,
been like, are they flirting? And I'm like, absolutely not.
I will
Anyway,
say, like,
sorry.
I like never ever wear makeup, but that's just because I'm fucking lazy.
No,
Like, it's
I
I
get
nothing
it.
to do with
too.
any. I am lazy as fuck.
Yeah. And that's
It's hard.
probably what hot girls, the reason they don't wear makeup too. It's just like, they're Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart wore makeup.
She did wear
She
makeup
wore a
and
lot of makeup,
She wore
but
a
she's
lot of more and more
still.
makeup with every movie.
yeah,
Mhm.
by the last movie, should they have her in like a full set of lashes when she was like waking up in bed before Vampire. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
So here's a random thing. Bella in the like okay, after the baseball scene when they're like, "Oh my God, we have to run from James, the tracker. He'll never stop." And
Hmm.
they are getting in the Jeep. We get a lot of, first of all, we get a lot of Cullen car politics in this. Like, I don't care whose Jeep it is or why you're driving it. But we get that information. And I don't think the book mentions anything. They're like, we got in the car. In the movie, Edward is like kind of forcing her about a little bit in his anxiety, and he's like fucking with her seatbelt, and she goes, "I got it," right? Because she's
Yeah,
like, "I
yes.
can do the seatbelt." I don't think that's in the book. Correct me if I'm wrong. The seatbelt thing. Okay, so then this book made sure to say this is an off-roading Jeep that does not have regular seatbelts. It has an off-roading harness.
I
So
didn't even catch
it
that.
makes
That's
sense.
funny.
It makes sense, guys,
Hmm.
that she was struggling with her seatbelt. Okay, it's not because she's a dumb bitch.
Ugh.
I'm like,
I think
why
in the
are you
movie,
telling
like
me
they
about
did
this?
have the like
The
big
harness.
harness
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
It's so I'm like, why is this detail here?
It's really dumb.
The last note I have about Bella, happy to talk about her more, but the last note I wrote down about Bella is when she almost gets hit by Tyler's car and she goes to the hospital. This is like the only thing Carlisle has ever said where I'm like, it's kind of fucked up. Other than him being like, yeah, I think Bella should be a vampire. Totally different. Him and Edward are looking at her like CAT scan or whatever, her brain scan, and Carlisle is like, "Look at all these fucking healed contusions. How much did her mother drop her as a baby?"
Oh my God,
And I'm like,
yes.
Carlisle, that's so fucked up. You're a doctor. Don't say that.
I thought about that for a
How
long
funny.
time. I think I had to pause the audiobook and think about that because what are the other implications? Healed contusions. Like now I'm like, if there was a scan of my brain, would there be 1,000 contusions? Isn't that like kind of significant?
I don't know anything
It
about contusions.
depends.
Maybe Gretchen knows. Tell us about brain
She
I
said
mean,
he
like
contusions.
lists.
it. I don't know how like much you can actually see of like because a contusion is really just like it's like a bruise or like a cut. It's nothing like crazy.
How many?
Like it's
It's
not
like a
like
bonk. It's a bonk that heals.
yeah,
How
because like you can
many
get a contusion on your wrist and
contusions
it
are normal in a brain scan? A
and I don't think you would
16
see
year
like
old.
healed that like see him healed.
That I
Okay.
feel like it would have to be a significant
Wait,
injury.
listen. I Googled how many contusions are normal in a brain scan for a 16-year-old. The AI overview says a normal brain scan for a 16-year-old or anyone should have zero brain contusions.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I mean like I my job is like I'm an injury adjuster for car accidents. So like I see people's like brain MRIs and like their CT scans and like I'm not a doctor, but I've never seen anything like that or even in the impressions like oh there's like 12 contusions here that are healed from 10 years ago. Like you can see something that's like from that specific accident or like a brain bleed, but like you're not seeing anything from 10 years ago.
So this is a crazy thing to include on a character level and on like an information level.
And on a doctor level, because if she truly has that many visible brain injuries, a doctor should be concerned. Like,
He's
Very.
laughing. That is so
he's,
out of character.
yeah, that it is.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be for like one of the other, like the siblings, I feel like, but for Carlisle, that is very out of
Yeah. I
character.
can totally
Yeah.
picture Emmett being like, ha, look at all
Yeah.
those contusions. Y'all, this book was hard to read, like with my hands, you know?
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Like
I did the audiobook too.
there was like a very short period about halfway through where I could like do a one-handed hold. But the first like 200 pages and the last 200 pages, which is only half of the book, you had to like, oh, it was really hard, really hard to read this fat ass book.
Interesting. Because it's like fat, but physically small, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Eh,
It's short and chonky.
yeah,
it's
it's
a I think
chody.
5.5 by 8.5. I wish I could measure. I bet this is a 5.5 by 8.5.
Oh, I have a question for the two of you about chodes. Um,
Okay, yeah, sure.
just really quick. I'll be quick.
I'm ready
Um, so Jason and I have recently had an argument, well, not really an argument, but just like a
about his chode.
discussion about what chode means. Because to me, because he used it wrong and wrong, and I was like, what do you think that means? So to him, chode means like a half, like a halfy, like a
What's a
half
chub?
boner. And to me, a chode is like a lemon dick. You know what I mean? Like a short, squat dick.
Short and fat.
Yes.
I think that I would call any dick that is short a chode.
I
Okay.
always interpret it as short and fat.
I think that
Same.
if you ask me for a technical definition, I would say short and fat, but I think that I would spot a dick that's just short and still call it a chode.
I think that's generous of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people have the same problem with the word stocky. I've heard people use the word stocky to describe a short person, and I'm like, must also be wide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta be
yeah,
big.
You can't just be like short and stocky. No, you have stocky is a different thing that includes short.
yeah. Agreed. Okay. I'm glad we had this
Yeah,
conversation.
tell Jason that I agree with his usage, but from a technical perspective, he was wrong.
Okay, that's all that matters to me. So thank you.
Um, uh, so let me say, I have like one note about every character. Like every
Okay.
character, I think for the most part, I found one new thing that interested me about them.
Okay.
Um, I don't think this is in the original series. But so I think that I learned that Jasper, not only is he capable of affecting other people's emotions also affect him or like feel good to him. There's like mention about like Jasper loving to be around me and Bella's romantic love because it feels good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like getting drunk off their feelings.
Yeah, isn't that
I didn't
interesting?
catch that. That is interesting.
I
It's
wrote down
near
all my
the
page numbers.
end,
It's
like
528.
before the baseball.
Let's see.
Ugh, I wish the baseball was close to the end.
528. I mean, proportionally it is.
That's true.
Okay. Um, Jasper, blah blah blah. Oh, okay. Bella like runs to Edward, whatever. Jasper followed her into the room, unable to help himself. The emotions inside were nearly intoxicating to him. In this moment, I knew Bella's feelings were just the same as mine, for there was
Hmm.
no counterbalance to the atmosphere of bliss that Jasper was getting high on right now. What? Isn't that
Oh,
so weird? I don't remember that at all.
no, that I
Yeah, I
think
don't
that's a
remember.
new
That's a new
detail.
thing.
Yeah, I don't remember it from the
Really?
originals, but again, like I read this before, so I might be remembering the times before.
Yeah, I really don't think that's in the original because I've never read this before. So when I learned new information, it stuck out to me. Um, so I found that to be pretty interesting, and like I think that there's like implications of that. We don't spend nearly enough time with Jasper, but I, I don't know, go like loiter outside a brothel to like feel good sex. I don't know, like where
Yeah,
are people
Yeah, it's
really
kind of
happy?
creepy and intrusive.
Just like
it is.
walking around Disney World, being like so happy.
Yeah, or like, but then on the other end of it, it's like that's like being an empath, but like being an actual empath, like in the sense of like what a burden that is.
Yeah,
No
it's
wonder
kind of
this
like
one
Yeah,
wonder
because you
no
Edward.
get the
wonder my
bad
man's
feels too.
stressed. Yeah.
It's kind of like Edward's power, but like just vibes, not words.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I,
it affects you no matter what. Like you can brush
yeah,
off a thought, but the
it's
feelings
like,
are
wow, I'm
deep.
so, like, what if you're with someone who's doing drugs? Like, what? Like, I don't have to do anything.
That's the only kind of way can sort of get high, right? Because I remember when Edward was talking about back when he was like a vampire killing serial killers, which by the way, that's a fun book. I would read that one.
I know. And he's like, I was so ashamed at murder. And I'm like,
No, dude, you saved so
kill a
many people.
rapist.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
Please,
that
please kill a rapist.
oh, that reminds me. Okay, so we get to hear what those dudes were actually thinking in the
Wasn't his name like
alley.
Chet or something so stupid?
Something dumb,
Chuck.
Chuck. And As far as we know, we don't know what their intentions were, probably to rape her. That's like what we think or what we know. But what we know from Midnight Sun is that his intentions were to rape, torture, and kill her. And that he's done this many
Wait,
times.
wait, are you conflating two things?
I
Um,
started talking about a
Are you talking
different
about the
thing.
Port Angeles dude or like
Yeah,
his
yes.
past killer?
Port
I think
Angeles,
I think
dude.
you're conflating two things. I
I'm
think
talking
that
about Port Angeles, dude.
I hear you, but I think that the Port Angeles guy was just gonna, I mean, just. I think he was just gonna rape her. The guy who was like premeditating like a kidnap, murder, torture was someone that Edward was like remembering from his past.
Okay, I remember two different things. When he was remembering from his past, he there was the guy who was like tortured and split about it, right? Is that the one that you're thinking about?
Yeah.
The
Like
one with the
that's
kid.
not what I'm talking about. There was also a part during the Port Angeles bit when he basically like there was like the one really bad guy and then the two dudes that were with him were just like not as bad. They were just like there with him. Um and they were like also gonna like I don't know, maybe they were gonna gang rape
They were
her.
just gonna rape her. I think he was gonna kill her
Yes.
because he was wanted for past murders
That's what I'm
and
saying. And
rapings
so
and
so
terrible
that
things.
adds even more craziness to that scene because we don't know all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff where like yeah, like his reaction it's still not my favorite reaction, but
No.
like it makes more sense to me now. I mean, okay. Like obviously she's about to get raped. That's what she knows. She knows she's about to get raped. That's really fucked up. She is probably really traumatized from that. Edward watches this guy imagine raping her and then remember raping and killing other people. That is also very traumatizing, and I don't think we like thought about that perspective when we originally talked about this scene.
No.
He's witnessing it basically.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that until like right now.
And I'm really glad
That's
that
insane.
I'm really happy that he went home and then the book told us that Carlisle, like, they found him, sedated him, and like called the police because I was at that point, I was like, go get him, bitch. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, please, I think that Carlisle not wanting to murder rapists is selfish. He's like, but
yeah,
my morals. No.
Mm-mm.
yeah. Why was he okay with Rosalie? Maybe just because it's Rosalie and she's very,
And she
Well,
gets her revenge. It's personal.
yeah, and
yeah,
he always lets everyone be autonomous, you know?
that's
That's
He's
true.
not
true.
like I'm making you do this, but he's like, this is how my house is.
Yeah. Yeah, so that scene really like I was like, wow, this is way more fucked up and actually like a lot more interesting. Um, and then let me just follow that up really quick, guys. Okay, we go to a Italian restaurant. Seems like a pretty nice Italian restaurant. This bitch looks at everything on the menu and orders mushroom ravioli. Okay, let me just say something. I like ravioli. I like mushrooms, but you're at a nice Italian restaurant and that's not the best thing on the menu.
Okay. Well,
That's insane.
I think that's
I'm
not
not gonna lie,
insane.
probably I love mushroom
I would probably
ravioli and
order
I
that.
You would
may have
order
ordered
that?
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Instead of like a baked cheesy pasta dish.
Yeah, everyone's different.
You can put cheese on ravioli.
It's already in there. It's fine. I think you're
Just
all
put it.
wrong.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion, and I think mushroom ravioli would be in my top three choices at an Italian restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. I've learned things today.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we can move on from that.
That's when she's wearing her indecent blue blouse.
Yeah, I feel like I saw no such blouse in the movie. I'll tell
Certainly
you that
not.
much.
I have like a lot more notes about Edward to talk about because this whole thing's from his perspective.
Yeah.
First of all, we learned on page 10, I do not think this is in the original series, that he has two medical degrees.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
odd.
I mean, I guess I'm glad you've been doing something with your time. I don't know.
Sure. I guess what the fuck else are you gonna do?
But they have to be like undergraduate degrees because he can't go to a residency.
Well, and like
Mm-mm.
I would think about like with Carlisle and his medical degrees, like obviously like so does he have to keep going to school? Like at some point you can't don't they have to look up his credentials and like when he graduated and stuff.
They
What do
have
you
that guy. who like
Yeah, Jay, whatever.
I don't think that these are set late enough that
Oh,
online files are a requirement yet.
that's true.
I think
Okay.
that he has like paper, yeah, paper documents.
It was like in his office, instead of a wall of framed diplomas, he had a nice painting. I'm
Because
like,
he doesn't
bitch,
have a
this is
diploma.
that's concerning.
Well, I mean, also like for that kind of like to keep up a license, you have to do like continuing education.
Yes.
So like I feel like he would occasionally like go through medical or like do like past the whatever the equivalent of the bar would be for like an attorney,
You
Mm.
would
and like
have to,
just have
right?
that as like a yeah. Because I mean, if he got his original like medical degree in like the 1600s, bitch was like leeching people.
Yeah.
So like I
And
would hope you would continue to learn.
I also think that as a whiteman in the 1600s, you can just say, "Can I have a medical degree?" And they're like, "Yeah,
Yes, my lord.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sure." One thing I liked this about Edward's character. He is like very, very aware of how creepy he is. He is not like acting in a way he thinks is normal. The line I read earlier, I was like a stalker, an obsessed stalker, an obsessed vampire stalker. Another quote, I was repulsed by myself as I watched her toss again. How was I any better than some sick peeping Tom? I wasn't any better. I was much, much worse. But I love the way that he gets himself through this by being like, I am literally a vampire. I am a monster of the night. It, I, I'm, I am going to do creepy things now. And you're like, you're right.
And
That
he's like,
logic is infallible.
you know what? I'm not killing her, you know?
Yeah.
So
He's like, what do you expect? I'm a
We're
fucking
above the
vampire.
expectations.
I think it's like also funny, not funny. It's just interesting to me also that his whole family knows about the stalking and they're like, well, have fun at Bella's. Like they don't give a shit.
I
That's
feel
very
like
Let
interesting.
us know how we can help.
let us
Yeah,
know how we can help. Well, okay, I think that they all like are get the fuck out of here, Jason.
he's helping. Thank you. My computer only has 15% left.
I feel like they all view Alice's visions. I don't want to say it's like infallible because they all know how they work, like they can change, but like her assessment of her own visions that Bella is either going to be a vampire or die. I feel like they trust her. So they're like, this is inevitable. Um,
Yeah, even Edward says he got too dependent on her visions being like fact.
yeah, yes. Um, and I also feel like just living with a family for a couple hundred years and you like some of you can read minds and you like cannot hide anything from each other. I feel like there's definitely times and they don't sleep. Like
Yeah.
you come home at 5 in the morning. It's like a walk of shame, but you didn't fuck anyone. You come home at 5 in the morning and they're like, "Where have you been?" And you're like, I heard these people having like really weird sex, and I just like had to see what they were doing, and it was
Oh
crazy.
my
I've never
God.
seen mortals do anything like this. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you just
True.
have to do stuff like
That's
that.
so
I
funny.
totally would. I'd be like, I didn't know that could go there. Why don't you show me what you're doing?
Did they? I'm sorry to go here again, but I want to talk about female vampire masturbation. So we've only talked about the male nerve endings, all that type of stuff. Like, is it still possible? Do we think? Like, does it still feel good?
I think that applies to all genitalia.
Well, we've just talked about vampire dicks so much. I thought I'd mix it
Well, they
up.
say that like it feels good to have sex, so I'm assuming it translates
Yes.
because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
just wait until you're a vampire. It's so even
It's
better.
way better.
Marble clit. Yeah.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
A marble clit
A very
is,
loud one.
Very inflexible.
oh my
Ugh.
God. Uh.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing. That's a suspension of disbelief thing.
Yeah. Oh, you know, they
Very
did
much
talk
so.
about that they Edward like took a bite of real food and he's like, I'm gonna have to choke this up later. There
Yeah,
we get
Mhm.
proof. Woo!
yes. I love that. Um, I feel like Stephanie, a big thing that she really was trying to like take, like she was trying to give Edward, I think, like more responsibility over his own actions and like give Bella more agency over her own. She was trying to like separate their agency a little bit. There's this quote that to me reads like someone parroting like a woke edit of their own work. um the I forget the setup to this. Just the two things that drove me crazy about Bella, quote, her scent and her silence, or rather to take the responsibility on myself where it belonged, my thirst and my curiosity. Like that's like a language choice where she's like, no, no, he knows that it's his problem, not her problem.
Yeah,
That's a
I
big leap from Twilight.
it is a big leap. And then it's like, oh my God, he was thinking about this stuff all along. And so it's like not creepy and he's like not even like low-key that abusive.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it does kind of, I feel like to me it did work. It made me like Edward much more.
Um, I really like she did this a lot. There's like many examples of this. Um, he like a lot of the really weird things he says in Twilight, like aggressive or like blamey, like victim blamey.
Yeah.
This book writes them off as being failed flirtations, and I think that's fucking hilarious. Like,
It is.
but through Bella's perspective, you're like, he's infallible, he's so smooth, like everything he says is like exactly the way he wants it to come across.
Yeah.
No, this is still a man. He might be a vampire, but he says dumb shit. Um, Quote, Bella, it's not my fault if you are exceptionally unobservant. Unquote. Oh, no. Continue the quote. The words were dry, almost a joke. Was there anything she didn't see? So he's saying you're unobservant, but he's like, the joke is that I have noticed her being very observant. Did she hear how my voice wrapped around her name like a caress? And he's like, yeah, LOL. And she's like, no, that's a douchey thing to say.
He's just a
Yeah.
big dummy.
Yeah, he's just like, is this flirting? This one made me laugh so much. When that one time that he's like, get in the car or whatever, I think it's after she faints in biology class. He's like, please get in the car. I'm gonna drive you home. She says, her eyes narrowed. I guess that she was debating whether or not to make a run for it. I could drag you back, I joked, wondering if my guess was correct. The consternation on her face told me it was. This is completely unnecessary, she said. I thought she looked more embarrassed than angry. Was my behavior entirely offside? I thought I was teasing, that I was acting like the average besotted teenage boy, but what if I'd gotten it wrong? Did she feel coerced? I realized she had every reason to. I didn't know how to do this, how to court her as a normal modern human man in the year 2005. Like he's like, wait.
Oh
You
my
did not
God.
interpret that the way I thought you would. I think that's really cute.
It
And
It
definitely
she's
makes
reads
him feel much more like a 17-year-old like
exactly.
yeah,
kid instead of like what you think of him as like from Twilight in the movies as being like, oh, you're like this ancient vampire. Like, no, he's a dumbass 17-year-old.
yeah, yep. Even like the indecent khaki skirt. She says, "Okay, I'm decent," because she just got dressed, and he's like, "No, you're indecent." And he always is like, "I'm teasing," in places where in the original Twilight we were not reading a tease at all.
No.
No.
Um, he has like a real journey throughout. He has a character arc throughout this that I don't think is present in Twilight at all. From like basically learning to like accept the monster he is, kind of. Um, and there's a lot of agonizing about it that I think we could have done with way less of it. Um, like you've had a long time to come to terms with this. It only
Also,
matters
he's
Yeah.
not
now.
really like a monster. Like, what have you done in the past like 80 years that makes you a monster? You're boring as fuck.
I
I
Like,
killed I
agree.
killed serial rapists. I'm a terrible
oh
guy.
Comes
my
back home
God.
crying. Um, but like I do think he like has an arc. Whether or not we think that it's deserved, he definitely like comes around a little bit, especially like if you go all the way to the end where like the end of Twilight has like an up note in that Bella's like, "Yay, happy relationship." But the beginning of New Moon is already taking place in Edward's head at the end of
Yes.
Midnight Sun. He's like,
Hmm.
"I'm going to pretend to not to be cool until she's recovered from these injuries, and then I'm gonna leave her because I can't let this happen again. So I like that, like I don't think this book would have felt complete without that like cherry on top of his like character arc coming back around to being like, no, I am responsible for her, and like I can't act like I have for the last 720 pages where like I'm this is out of my hands because he's like I couldn't all book. He's like, I couldn't possibly find the strength to leave her. I would just come back. And I'm like, it is not hard to force your body to be where you need it to be. Like, it might hurt, but like you literally could get on an airplane and not come back. And it like would not actually be hard.
Yeah, physically it's not. He just can't do
He
it
just
mentally,
doesn't want to do it.
apparently. Yeah.
But he has this quote that I really like. Like, and again, it sounds like a little bit on the nose, like therapy language, but he says, it's better to see myself as the whole, good, bad and good, and work with the reality of it, rather than being like, am I a monster? Am I a good guy? And I think that that is nice.
It is. It's healthy. I think
Yeah.
it is totally therapy speak, but
Yeah.
therapy speak has it. There's good stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a
So
place for it.
they do totally need like a vampire therapist, though. I think Carlisle's the
Yeah.
closest they have.
Maybe they should promote Esme.
For
Yeah,
real.
give her all something to do with all that empathy.
Yeah, really. Um, I don't the I'm running out of notes here. The last thing I really want to talk about is the meadow scene.
The meadow.
The meadow scene in Twilight is like kind of innocuous. She's like, okay, let's go to the meadow. Oh, your skin sparkles. That's cool. I love you, basically. And then he's like, even though I'm a monster. And she's like, yes, why are you doing this? In the Midnight Sun, it is like a crucial turning point. He's like, basically, in all of Alice's visions, if they fall in love or if he turns her into a vampire or if he kills her, it always happens in the meadow or whatever. So he has to like get through the knot, quote unquote, which is like the name of the chapter of like this unsureness in the meadow. And he has kind of like an anxiety attack in the meadow. And I'm just thinking of the way that Rob Pattinson does this in the movies, and I'm like, that is such a disservice to like the tone we're granted here. But I'm gonna flip to it. What did you guys think about the way the meadow's rewritten?
I mean, I think that she rewrote it in a sense so it's not like, wow, he's having this weird abusive tree tantrum.
Yes.
Although he
He
does
still kind
even
of is.
he says in his words, he's like, he's like, I think I'm having a tantrum. Like, um,
And
maybe he
hey,
doesn't know what a panic attack is
as
also.
as an adult, I have been there. I have been like,
Yeah.
I think I am having a tantrum right now.
So many feelings because he's like, I want her to want me so bad, but also I want her to like go away and just choose this for herself so I don't have
God.
to. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Trees, you know.
Trees. Um, I feel like this takes 100 years longer to get through this scene in Midnight Sun than it does in Twilight. It's just like
Yes. It's a
giggling,
blip.
touching each other. Yeah, it's a blip. This is so long. There's so many moments of like, I'm gonna touch you. Okay, now I'm gonna stop. Okay, I'm gonna touch you. Okay, that was too much. I'm running away. I need 45 minutes of quiet contemplation. Okay, I'll come back. Like it happened. There's so many things happen, and then he's like, okay, okay, I think I can do this. And she's like, okay, great. And then he it's just so it is a tantrum. Her heart hammered on, and I wanted to laugh and cry. I was getting what I wanted, and all because she'd leaned in just 1 inch too close. She'd gotten near enough to smell my scent, and she'd found it pleasant, just as she found my face attractive and all my other snares compelling. Everything about me made her want to move closer to me, just exactly as it was designed to. I'm the world's best predator, aren't I? I made no attempt. He's like hating himself out loud to his crush, which is like a huge burden and not at all cute.
Yeah.
She thinks it's
No.
cute.
Yeah.
Um, he's like, I think he's trying to be like, I think this is his last because the whole time he's like, when will she realize I'm scary? When will she back off? Like, when will she see how scary I am? So I feel like this is his last ditch attempt to be like, I am a scary creature. Watch me rip the tree. And again, we're like laughing. We're like, LOL. He Rob Pattinson like rips a little twig off, and it's like, "Rawr, I'm a baby." But then this book is like, this is 863 pounds, and I'm like, that is a branch. That is a big branch. That is actually a crazy lift.
Yeah, and also, what did that tree do to you? That's not nice.
I
He's
I
like,
was thinking that
Oh,
too.
he's like, I'm gonna go back and check on the tree after she's home just to make sure it's okay.
it's like I'll check. I think after a couple months, we'll be able to see if I truly killed it. Like, okay, well, I guess at least you didn't kill Bella.
Like a 2-year-old, my little tantrum had cost me no energy, but it had
Yeah,
drained some of my ire.
he uses that word ire a lot instead of anger, right?
He's Irish.
Ire, an Irish pirate. Stupid.
Uh, so then he's like, and then he's like, all right, well, please don't be afraid of me.
What do you want from me?
I liked the way they're getting ready to go to the meadow, and he's like, I'm gonna show her my sparkly skin. And I never thought about this really, but like it makes sense. All of their clothes like cover their whole bodies because they don't get hot and they can't let their skin show. So he's like, I have one short sleeve shirt, and he puts it on and he's like, I'm dressed like a fucking whore. Like he's like, I'm so naked right now. And he keeps being like, I can't believe my arms are bare, which it makes perfect sense, but just the way it was written was so funny to me.
I think it's a sleeveless shirt because he's like,
Yeah, like
it's
a
this
tank
stupid.
top.
It's like the stupid shirt I never wore. Alice bought for me, and I'm like,
I thought it was a short sleeve but white button down.
there. I know there's at least one. There's one scene in this book that involves a sleeveless shirt, and I was shocked. Um,
That ain't right.
that is now that's slutty.
I think that's something else that the movies did a huge disservice. Like Rob Pattinson pained facedly goes into the sun and he like sporkles a little bit like he's been
Right.
sweating and he's like, I'm a monster. But the way they describe it in the books is like this is a nightmare of bright
Yeah, it's like
sunshiny
his skin
disco
set on
ball.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
skin set on fire. Yeah. And I'm like, that is scary and alarming, and people would notice that.
Yeah, I think I've always wondered if it's just that it's an effect that the technology
They
they
just didn't have it.
couldn't keep up with,
Then you need to
or
write his reaction down.
This is the
yeah.
skin of a killer, Bella.
I'm
It's
like,
like, oh, he's
girl,
so
God.
pretty.
you're like
I
Yossified for the
know.
club, like Kesha. Like, okay.
Does anyone have anything else to say about Midnight Sun? Anything we haven't brought up yet?
I will say for like the back half, I was like, it would be really fun, like for like a ship with Alice and Bella instead of Edward, and like have all
Ooh.
Mm,
this. I think that would be a better story, TBH. I
interesting.
also was thinking about, I was like, I don't think that I would want Edward's perspective on like new moon or eclipse, but I think it'd be very interesting for Breaking Dawn since they're
Yeah,
like more adult now and like they
Mm.
go through the honeymoon and like his side and the Renesmee stuff and like his change and then like all the war stuff. I think that would be a lot more interesting to
that
get at
would.
Edward
I
point.
totally agree. And I was thinking, I was like, a new moon version of this would be fucking bad. It would be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really bad.
Just
It would
crying in
just
Brazil.
angst. Yeah, I mean, at least different. It's the same. And then there's no Jacob to like provide levity, you know?
There's nothing. So sad.
Just
Um,
straight emo.
I noticed this one line. I want you guys to tell me what this reminds you of, if it reminds you of anything. It's the first time Edward ever touches Bella. My hand was tingling. I flexed it and then curled it into a fist, but it continued to sting painlessly. Does that remind you of anything?
I mean, all I can think of is the movie where he's like,
Are you thinking of
The
Mr.
Twilight movie?
Darcy?
oh yeah, Mr. Darcy.
That's
That's what
exactly what
it's
I was thinking
from.
of. Yep.
Oh my fucking God. Yeah, it wouldn't have
Oh,
come to my brain unless you said that. But yeah, that's exactly like
Like literally, he touches her and then he's like, la, 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 la.
yeah.
I was like, and especially with how obsessed Bella is with classic literature, I felt like that was on purpose, honestly.
Yeah, I was a nice detail.
Does
When
he
we were
know though, like that she likes it at that point, or are you
I
just talking
don't,
about like Stephanie
I
Myers?
think it was intentional from Stephanie Meyer. I don't think it
Okay,
was
yeah,
yeah,
intentional from
absolutely.
Edward.
agreed.
Does he know she likes Pride and Prejudice? He fucking watches her from the trees, read a Jane Austen anthology in the backyard for 8 hours.
I
uh,
can't believe he was so stupid he couldn't pick up that like she stopped at Edward. Like every time he's like, "Oh, but that character," and then just could not put two and two together.
and of course,
It drove me crazy.
Every single Austen book has a man named Edward.
Or
There weren't
Edmund.
not
Edmund.
that many names back then for boys.
Leela, do you have any last thoughts about Midnight Sun?
I don't think so.
Are you
I
glad we
like,
read it?
yeah, I am. I wish I had like remembered and given myself more time. Because I've been in a Midnight Sun prison for the past week and a half. Um, but
Same.
but
Dude,
I
I read this in 4 days.
Holy shit. And you read
My
with your
bra
eyes.
my brain gets like it's a prison of a different type. It's like a I'm like yay. uh, but yeah,
I would like to. I think I maybe a book or a chapter, a couple chapters would be interesting from Alice's point of view. I
yeah.
don't know. I
I
think
do
she's
think there's just
interesting.
so much interesting. I want to know more about Jasper. I think Jasper is so
Yeah.
interesting. I like reading him in the book. I'm always like, oh yeah, he's not the worst, funniest memed character in the world. Like thinking of him, like the way this book describes him as like so charismatic, like a war god, and then respectfully, very hot person. But you watch Jackson Rathbone's portrayal,
He's
and you're
got
like, this
nothing.
is not what that is at all.
No. And it's
He's
so
not a
funny because he
war
is
god.
so obsessed with him too,
Yeah.
with like the character of
Oh, I mean,
Jasper.
I love Jackson Rathbone. I just don't think he was cast correctly.
No, he wasn't.
And
He
like
just loves it so
not
much so.
definitely I'm going to blame some of that on the direction as well because what
For sure.
director would look at that acting and be like, "Yeah, continue," you
Yeah,
know?
for sure. I just remembered I said we would circle back to Alice's
Oh,
backstory.
yes. Yes. Okay.
She doesn't remember any of her life before she became a vampire, and they never explain that in the original trilogy, the original series. And this book said we're going to,
I
and
do like that they did it.
it's connected to what's that guy's name? James.
Yeah.
James.
James.
So she was help me remember actually because I actually read this twice because I was still a little confused. She was in an asylum in a dark room and then she wasn't.
The doctor was the vampire, and like he knew James was hunting her, and so he turned her before James could get to
Oh yeah,
her.
the only one who ever got away.
Yeah.
And that's why well, I don't know. I don't think that's why actually, but it's ironic then that Alice is like the one way to get James to back off Bella is to turn her into a vampire and he's like I'm not doing that. I'd rather
Hmm.
her die.
So she was,
Psycho.
I read it as like she was being kind of like tortured and experimented on. Was that the case, or did
Yeah, because her
I?
family, I think, if I remember it correctly, her family had put her in there because she had precognition prior to
Yeah.
becoming a vampire. So, like, well, you're crazy. We're putting you here. And,
Yeah.
like, they did what they did in the late 1800s, early 1900s to women who were crazy. And basically, that's just torture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was more like the doctor when she was in there was like, oh, this ain't cool. I
Yeah.
like her, so I'm going to protect her. And then James came and he's like, well, protection is vampire.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked learning that too. I wish it just had more spotlight. I wish we got to see Alice react to that.
I had to
Yeah.
re-listen to it again as well because I really kind of zoned out during the monologuing.
I did too. In my original text to you, I said skip the monologue, and then I was like, wait, fuck, I missed something important, so I
Yeah,
deleted
same.
that because I was like, I don't want to listen to this. Um, but yeah. Okay, great. Are we glad we read it? I'm glad I read it. Gretchen, are
I
you
mean, I
glad you've
probably
read
will
it
read
three
it
times?
again. Yeah. And
Yeah,
next time I read the Twilight series, it's gonna happen again.
yeah,
Um,
I think so
It's taken
too.
over for Harry Potter for me too. Yearly rereads.
I don't think that I would read it again, but there's just so many other better books that I want to read. But I am glad that I read it. It was very, I was talking to Christina and I was like, it's kind of like it's like nostalgic in the, but it's nostalgic for this podcast because I have audiobook listened to the books the whole time we've done this. And I'm always walking through my neighborhood, taking really long walks when I'm listening to it. And it got to the point that like I'm going on walks and listening to something else. And I'm like, I pass a certain house and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, it's weird that I'm not listening to the Jacob part of Breaking Dawn right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just kind of like nice. It just felt nice, like coming home a little bit, which was nice. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think I would read it again. It's too long and not good enough for me to read again. Sorry.
I'd probably read it again. It's like the world of Twilight just feels comfy cozy to me now, you know?
Sure. Yeah,
I
I
can read them out
agree.
of order, like,
Yeah.
um, Leela, are you looking forward to reading? I think our next one is going to be we could do what's the Bree Tanner
Did
one? I
you Life
never
and Death? Oh, the
the
short
some
second life of Brie Tanner,
the
something
short
like that.
second life of Bree Tanner, or we can do Life and Death next.
Do Life and Death.
What's life? What is that a true prequel
It's
or
the
is that
gender
something?
swap.
It's
Oh, that
Twilight
sounds
gender swap.
fun. Let's do that.
It
Bree
also
Tanner
looks
is gonna be a bummer.
it also looks pretty short.
Brie Tanner is super short. I read it for the first time last time I came on, and I think the audiobook is like 2 hours, hour and a half. It's real short.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should do both eventually, but I will say
Sure.
that Life and Death is under 400 pages long,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
is crazy.
let's do that and then we'll do Bree last, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like excited to complete the Twilight series.
Agreed.
Gretchen, do you think Midnight Sun is horny, sad, or just plain bad?
It's definitely just plain bad, but it's got so much weird horn in it too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the horny in this whole series is so fucking weird.
Yeah,
Even when
true.
even when they finally are married and they're allowed to feel horny, they still Bella still is
It's
like,
still
"What
weird
is
as
this feeling
fuck.
inside of me?" And we're like, "It's horny." Leela, what about you?
I think horny, like weird horny for sure. I don't think it's just plain bad. I've just there's been so much content on here that I feel like is just plain batter, and this is to me doesn't fit that category. And I don't think it's sad even. I think it's horny. That's what I'm
Um,
gonna go with.
Also, in the, like a vote. So my vote is sad. I'll circle back to it. I think a
Okay.
vote for me against just plain bad is this would never have existed. This specific book would never have existed if there wasn't such a demand for the original series. You know, like people wanted to read this book. So like, is it bad? Yeah, but like people eat it up, and I ate it up. I think it's sad because like I really did feel for Edward almost this whole time. Like he is like absolutely riddled, like racked with anxiety. And he feels that his fate is like out, that Bella's fate is like out of his hands. After Alice has her premonition, he feels just like so trapped and stressed about his role to this girl that in the beginning he doesn't even fucking know her. And that's stressful and it made me feel sad for him, honestly.
Have we ever had an episode where we all three people say a different thing?
Probably.
Wow, it's just a triple scoop. It's
I know. There's a little bit of everything in this one.
which one's the chocolate, which one's the vanilla, and which one's the strawberry? I
I feel
think
like strawberry's
horny.
horny.
Really, I was gonna say chocolate's horny,
I think
but that's just
strawberry's
because
horny.
I'm horny for chocolate.
Chocolate's
That's just,
sad. Vanilla's just plain. Hmm.
Yeah,
uh
it's vanilla. It's boring.
Yeah. I
Okay,
don't
all
really
right.
like this analogy because ice cream's
Okay.
just good. I don't want to call any of those flavors just plain bad.
They're all
True, we
delicious.
love them all.
Um, Before I leave, did either of you in like probably 2012, did you read the little like first chapter manuscript she put out of Midnight Sun?
No. That
No.
was 2012?
Really? I don't know the
Or like
specific year. It
around
was
then
like
though? It was
it
like
was right
earlier.
around then. Yeah, it was.
Do
She
you
had put it out, and I remember reading it with my friends in like late high school,
Oh.
early college. I was
Do you
like, "Oh
remember
my
anything
God, I'm
about
so
it?
pumped for this!" It was like exactly the first chapter. Like she just put out the manuscript of the first chapter or two,
I
and
Well,
wonder if
everybody
it
was
took her that
so
fucking long to
stoked.
read. I wonder if it took her like 5, 6 years to write it,
well,
honestly.
Yeah,
what
I think that's
I
why like the beginning, the introduction's like, I can't believe it took me that long, but I did it.
Oh,
Just like in
I
a little
never
like
read the
intro.
introductions.
Well,
Oh,
what I read also fun tidbit is that that she allowed the writers of the movie to read like that first manuscript of Midnight Sun. So
Whoa.
what take that for whatever you will. So they had a little bit of insight into the inner psyche of things.
Wait, who? The the
The writers,
but didn't
the script writers.
but did
scriptwriter.
didn't that come out after the movies were produced
I
or like
might be
mostly
very
produced?
off on the
I'm
year
gonna Google
Well,
it.
the book
that
because
this
the book
happened,
was
but it
written
was like deep internet weird time.
it's like a fact at the end of the Wikipedia for
Okay.
Midnight Sun.
Oh. Okay, so here's what happened. Uh there was a okay. Okay. In 2008, it's like long enough ago that I was trying to say
Earlier.
2008. 2008, the first 12 chapters of Midnight Sun got leaked.
That's what it
And
was.
so Stephanie posted them like on her own to be like, yeah, I guess. So that's why they waited so long to publish it so that I guess I would have time to like wear off.
But
Yeah, I
I
remember
found
that. So I would have been like a sophomore in high school.
I wonder how much of it like how much of it was published because I don't feel like
12
in the
chapters.
movie. Okay, that's a kind of a lot considering that the
The
movie I feel has
has none of that.
not even a glimpse of the
I
of this
agree.
book.
Rob Pattinson is not the most empathetic Edward. Um,
No.
the and chat I will say chapter 12 is page 300 basically. The
Oh,
chapters are
true.
fucking
Nothing.
long.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah, I think they're
long.
still like it's maybe like when he's like, oh, maybe we can be friends, and then it's no.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's not God, this book is so long. It's so slow to get started. Oh, whatever. Gretchen, thank you for coming on the show and talking about this very long, very silly, very fun book with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm always down for Twilight talk.
It's a real horny, sad, just plain bad trifecta.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug? Do you want people to find you on the internet anywhere? Got anything to
I don't
plug?
post anything.
Okay, perfect.
I'm
Find her
boring.
in the Discord server for our dollar a month
Yes.
tier on the Patreon. That's it for Burn Before Reading.
Until next week, remember,
Your cringe is part of you.
but don't be indecent about it. Embrace it.
Wow.
Ugh.
2 hours long, probably could have predicted that, especially with the goof up
It's
top.
so long.
There's a lot of content,
Mm-hmm.
but also there's not. You know what I mean? There's a lot, and then it's also there's not.
I think there's a lot. Twilight Reimagined. Let me
I'm so
see.
excited for you guys to read that. It's so bad.
Oh, and then I'm glad it's short.
Yeah, it's almost like when I was reading it last time, it felt like it was literally like word for word Twilight.
Oh my
Like she
God.
tried to really keep it the same, other than like a few parts. I
Some
don't know
of
if
the
you guys
chapters,
know
oh,
anything about it.
some of the chapters seem kind of shorter, which is good. Those 30-page, 40-page chapters really kill me.
It's a
Yep.
lot.
All right, I'm gonna go because I need to eat.
Yeah.
But
All right. Thanks, gang. I appreciate you.
Bye.
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 Thanks for listening to Burn Before Reading.
Created by me, Christina Kahn.
Hosted and produced by Christina Kahn and me, Leela Hilton.
Logo designed by Michael Hardison. Follow him on Instagram at RoyGBivRVA or check out his work at wildlingpress.com.
Theme music by Sakura Wishes.
Find me online at tbr.tinabreading on Instagram.
Find me at Leels for Reels on Instagram.
Join us on Patreon for access to our Discord server, monthly bonus episodes, and other fun stuff.
Find video recordings of most of our episodes on YouTube at Burn Before Reading. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Burn Before Pod or email us at burnbeforepod@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening, friends.
See you next time.